Welcome back, and yes, last time we touched on the ECU, etc., the brains of the outfit. Yes, indeed, certainly not me. World's fastest bumper car update. So this is what we're talking about. So that's a rectifier, which is standard kind of fit for any kind of motorcycle, and the ECU, which fits neatly into this box of cat treats. Yeah, so we've got to locate that somewhere 14 inches from the motor itself. And we talked about putting it under the seat in this little tray. As you can see, it fits beautifully and will fit beautifully. So that's not a problem. Anyway, while I was in there, I rediscovered the Speedo, which I have kept, obviously, and it's actually in pristine condition, refurbished, no less. It won't be much use because it will be geared to the sprocket, which looked a bit like that. Yeah, whereas the sprocket that we've got is much smaller, which is also part of the entrails that come off the rear of the motor and extend quite a lot. Yeah, over here. Yes, here we go. Complete with wolf fur. Anyway, Chris and I have decided that this is probably an integral part of the brain, because lots of stuff goes in there, as you can see, and comes back out again. Speedometer, you say? Well, yes, a gauge cluster. Yes, all you can see is a rev counter, which will be useful and will be accurate, and has a flashing light at the top there to tell you when to change gear. Which the sharper eyed among you will have noticed red lines at 15,500 revs. So yes, we will be screaming to that. Anyway, we've got to find somewhere to mount it, which could look something like that off the engine itself, or we could hang it off the bodywork, to be honest, because it's only one simple plug. Engine room. More Kool-Aid. It's the overflow tank. Oh, I know, it looks very smart, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a nice braided hose. Actually, for those of you who watched the Yamaha series, or those of you who didn't, it's a washing machine. Anyway, that fits there. These two go to these two. This big boy goes to one of those under there. The other one of those goes to one, if not both of those. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. And then that big boy there goes to that, I think. Don't know where that goes. Unnecessarily complicated. Bloody Yamaha should have stuck to making pianos. Anyway, what I can guarantee you is that none of these beautifully pre-formed and pre-bended pipes that suit the Yamaha R6 are going to be anywhere near the right angle to tie it all up. And what you don't need in a cooling system is kinks. Anyway, perhaps more importantly, let's look at the steering, or start to look at the steering in some earnest. Yes, and apart from the fact that those are dangerously close to the chassis, we've then got the issue of where the motor's going to land. Probably about there. So, question number one, can we turn the whole thing around? I mean, like this. And does this even help, or does it make life even more complicated? Will the steering be back to front even? I don't know. Stupid idea. Back to the drawing board. Anyway, talking of engines. Were we? I thought we were talking about steering. I've been talking to my friend Chris. Who is this Chris we speak of? Well, Chris is my new motorcycle elf, or guru. Helps me out with things I can't do, like balance carburetors and stuff like that. So yes, I gave him a call yesterday about the R2 motor itself. And when he answered the phone, he said, "Hello, you crazy bastard." I asked if he spoke to all his clients like that, and apparently no, I'm the only one. I suppose I deserve it. The long and the short of it is that he doesn't want to test fire up this on the engine frame. He'd rather do it in the bumper car. He said it might just rip itself off the frame. I don't know. So we need to hurry up and get those engine mounts and get it on the damn chassis. Anyway, back to worrying about everything fitting or not. We have some tolerances, i.e. that basically, and the exhaust system as it is. So right now I think this is riding like 2 inches higher than it actually will, because it's sat on 5-inch breeze blocks. And the C-frame and therefore the bodywork is sat as high as it will go on the chassis rails, although obviously we could sit it on top of them, and of course we could lower them by anything up to 3 inches, as you can see. In fact, we could put them underneath and raise it another 2. Don't really want to, because the more we do that, the higher it will sit, everything. But if we need more height above the chassis rails to accommodate the motor, that motor, so be it. And if we need more ground clearance at the bottom to accommodate the exhaust pipe, that'll kind of do the same thing, I think. Just need those bloody engine mounts, really. And you'll be glad to hear some safety updates on the bumper car. Yes, we have emergency exits. That is here and here. Very exciting news. Yes, we have engine mounts. No, not prototypes, the real thing. Well, they're halfway there. Obviously got to drill some holes in them, but they fit perfectly, just like prototypes did. How about that? And despite all this technology like CAD and plasma cutting and everything else, we had to resort to sketches, yes, with rough measurements of things. But it would appear to have worked. Nothing got lost in translation. Pilot hole drilled. Good news is this is pretty tough still in terms of holding up the engine. Bad news for the Black & Decker. I know. Why am I not using my drill pad? Just in case you're interested, we're going to be using 10mm bolts up the front here, 12mm bolts on the rear, and 8mm bolts holding it to the chassis. We're probably going to get some longer ones that actually run through the entire length, so i.e. 2 inches of the chassis rail. Yes, that long. Yes, that long. Seems we have the perfect solution already. Maybe. At the back, we're going to need a little bit more. We're going to need to modify this mount. We're going to need a little bit more meat on the width there at the top, because that's a big 12mm hole. We're going to need to be filing off some of that top corner on the right there to get it to fit further in, because we're only just in there. Just checking out the rear mount situation on the engine block itself, and we've got a fairly coarse thread 12mm bolt there, and on the other side it's a little bit more tricky. There it is, and we've got no thread at all in that, and that's because there was a bolt that went all the way through and screwed into that end. Probably didn't stick out very much, so it wouldn't have been any good to us anyway, even if I could find it. So we're going to need to put a thread in that end. Not sure if we've done any threading or tapping or dyeing or whatever the hell it is on the bumper car project yet. So stay tuned and be enthralled. Well, it would appear we have the same thread available to us in this kit, so that's good. And it appears to fit, which is a little confusing, as one would have thought the shaft of the bolt that went all the way through would be slightly bigger. I'm confused. Anyway, if it all goes horribly wrong, we can always drill it out a little bit and put in an imperial thread. just to confuse everybody. Trouble is, none of those twisty-turny, grippy things are going to fit in that space. Allow for any meaningful kind of turnage. So, it's not ideal, but we're going to have to use our friend the monkey wrench. And yes, this is my grandfather's monkey wrench. So named because it was Mr. Monkey that invented it. No, not that monkey. Slow and gentle procedure at the best of times. One threaded hole. Using the same bolt as the other side, so that's nice and symmetrical and consistent. Guess I need another bolt now. Well, actually, I need two much shorter ones. So now all we need is the other engine mounts. Then we can get it up on this baby. Yes, that's an engine crane and a coat hook. And drop it in there. Well, hopefully not drop. I mean, gently lower it in there. See if it fits. So that's something to look forward to next time, eh? Yes, indeedy. So thanks for tuning in again for all the latest updates. If you haven't already, please subscribe down here somewhere. Give the video the thumbs up and encourage others to watch my lunacy.